Hello, and welcome to a very fun and inspiring conversation with the beautiful Ellen McShane. My name is Heidi Wilde, and I am a corporate retiree, very passionate about wellness, aging well, gut health, AI, all kinds of the latest and greatest in technology, and recently became a fan of a program that's all about brain entrainment and specifically a program called MindTrainer Pro. And Ellen and I have been using this together. And I would love to hear from you, Ellen, first a little bit about yourself and what you find exciting and different about MindTrainer Pro.
Well, thank you, Heidi, for this opportunity. It's really an honor to be here with you today. So I'm an educator, social worker, long 50-year career in many different positions. But for the last 5 to 7 years, I've been working as a network marketer. And I just enjoy helping people earn money online. And as a result, I get into all kinds of different opportunities similar to you. I enjoy helping people save money. I love AI. I think it's the best thing ever. But I can also see that you have to be knowledgeable so that, it's not something that gets in your way of moving forward. But everything that we're working on as a team that you and I are exposed to gets me interested in new and exciting things. So when MindTrainer Pro was introduced to us, I was definitely intrigued because I'm very much interested in how our cognitive system works and how the brain is supported and changed and enriched. And this brain entrainment program really helps you understand how you're fitting into the world and how you can make better use of your own abilities and maybe even change some of the things that may have been causing you stress or discomfort. So I became very excited about it, and I use it daily. And I've used it daily, I'd say, for as long as we've been in it. Would you say 2 months, 3 months? I can't quite
Yeah,
remember.
I came in May when it first started, May 1st.
Yeah. So that's even longer than a couple of months, right? No, that's about 3 months. So, yes. So I find that what I'm able to use it for, and it's helped me the most, is with my sleep. Prior to that, using MindTrainer Pro, I would get on average, and I'd be happy with 4 to 6 hours, but mostly in the 5-hour range. And I would spend a lot of time trying to fall asleep, and I would use deep breathing. I used a system 10 by 10, so 10 breaths with each, like 10 fingers. I do 10 deep breathing breaths on each finger. And that takes me about half hour, 45 minutes. Then I have another system that came from Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk. And that is a simpler one that just has 4 steps to it. But I would use all of that trying to get myself to sleep. I would use some supplements, CBD oil, and I spent a lot of time awake. So with MindTrainer Pro, the fact that they offer some sleep support was very, very interesting for me. And one thing that the owner shared with us is that it's not something that's going to happen overnight. So I understood that. And in the beginning, I tested because I have the full cadre of systems that are available with MindTrainer Pro. And I tested every one that I could find. And he has one that's just sleep. And I went through all of those. But in the self-mastery one, he has one called Restful Wave. And from listening to him, he explained that it literally is how your brain is operating when you're asleep. And I found that one has been the most impactful for me. So now I can after maybe reading in bed for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I turn on restful wave, I begin deep breathing, and then I just go right to sleep.
Wow.
So if there's something that's upset me, I might struggle a little, but if I'm calm and able to manage my life, I can just quickly fall asleep. And my average now for sleeping is between 6 and 8 hours, with much more on the 7 to 8 hour range of full sleep.
Wow.
But in doing my research around sleep, the biggest thing is you want to have deep sleep.
Mhm.
And you want as much REM sleep as you can get, because that's where the healing power of sleep comes in. And so I have a tool called a Whoop that allows you to monitor how much sleep you have. It monitors your HRV, which monitors your ability to move from the parasympathetic system, which is the place that you're calm and collected, to the sympathetic nervous system where you're feeling a lot of stress. And how quickly can you move back and forth is really a sign of health. And I have seen a dramatic increase in my HRV. I mean, just in the last week, there was a 16% increase in HRV from last week to this week. And last week was stressful for me because I was still dealing with some surgery that I was focused on. And so being able to do MindTrainer Pro recordings during that time was very helpful. Just
Wow.
allowed me to relax. It allowed me to be confident that everything was going to work out, because it's so easy when you've been patterned to think that, oh, things aren't going to work so easily, to fall back into that pattern when you're in a stressful situation. But I find MindTrainer Pro allows me to pass over that. So that's been very helpful. And then with the sleep, I have, with stress in my sleep, from last week to this week, has reduced 75%. So
That's
that's pretty dramatic, you know?
wow.
Yeah.
So, Ellen, can you take us through? So, uh, many of the programs and systems within MindTrainer Pro, they recommend over the ear phones. Do you use those when you're using the sleep?
No,
You
I,
listen to it
with
from your
Restful
phone?
Wave, I just let it go. Yes. On my phone, I just let it run. And it's the only thing that I think about once in a while, because I really have tried to get all of that out of my bedroom. No TV, no electronics, trying not to have that energy there. But it doesn't seem to be interfering with my sleep. So I just use Restful Wave on a low volume on my iPhone. But with everything else, other than subliminal recordings that are scattered throughout all the options that we have, where you can do those recordings with other things, like when you're working around the house, cleaning, or whatever you might be doing. Uh, I don't use headphones with that, but with everything else I do, the quantum processing, the energy elevation, the confidence, there's in the confidence section, there are several of them that you really do need the headphones. And then the last one is a subliminal one. And that one you don't have to have your headphones on, or you can do other things.
Yeah.
So,
For those that don't know anything about MindTrainer Pro, there's a handful of different methods and technologies. One is called triliminals, where you have voice going into one side of your brain. Your right ear goes to your left brain, and your left ear goes to the right brain, and then down. So three different directions. Our creator has a radio voice, and it's very calming and soothing. There's also advanced binaural beats, the bump, 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 bump kind of sounds, and they're very effective. You don't really understand or know what's happening, but they can change, literally, these can all change the neural pathways in our brain. And then there's also visuals that are available. So there's different technologies within the MindTrainer Pro, within all the systems. What has been, when you go to the MindTrainer Pro, you have everything. What do you choose which one you want to listen to?
well, I've tried a lot of them. I don't particularly like the trilimnals as much as I like the beats and especially in the self-mastery, most of those are not word connected. So what I know I've worked on getting my right and left hemisphere to communicate with each other. And I think that MindTrainer Pro recordings are very helpful with that. So that sense of having a connection that's completely holistic with your whole body and your brain is what I experience, and it really allows a peaceful day, a lot of confidence around what you can accomplish, what you can focus on, makes just everything easier. And as you identify things that you're concerned about, like say you want to lose weight, well, you can lose weight through MindTrainer Pro and doing the lean mind function. Now, I don't do that. I'm not trying to lose weight, but I'd go in and test it just to see what it sounded like or what it felt like. And that allowed me to just come up with what I'm comfortable doing. So I really want to develop my intuition and my creativity. And so I've done the initial recordings on those, and those are most likely subliminal. And they then have boosters that you can just do that are 15, that are short. The longer one's about 30 minutes, so it's not too long. But the boosters are 15 minutes, and that allows me to do intuition and creativity like 3-4 times a week, just fit them in. But I tend to do it before I get up, because one of the things that in producing or trying to get more sleep is I stay in bed longer. It's not that something that came with MindTrainer Pro, but it's helped me with MindTrainer Pro because I will wake up probably 6 a.m. and then I have an hour or two that I can choose to do about an hour of just sitting there with headphones on or lying there and be calm and just let the vibration fill my brain and my body.
So what have you noticed for changes since you started? We know about the sleep, but in terms of creativity, intuition, productivity with using MindTrainer Pro compared to before you were using this?
Well, I also have used the abundance option in there. That's with the self-mastery. And that one, you don't need headphones on and you can be doing other things. So I like to use that at least once a week. But in our business with network marketing, I'm just more conscious of having the confidence to know that what I'm sharing is beneficial to others and that people are going to benefit. And it's more intentional, and I don't slip away from it as easily. I'm much more grounded. I'm enjoying life. And I feel like MindTrainer Pro has allowed me to flourish in a way that I haven't been able to do as easily in the past.
That is incredible. And there are so many stories like yours. There's so many different success stories or stories of transformation, and everybody's different. Our creator, Maury, talks about that we're our own guru, and that to use your intuition to even decide what sessions you want to listen to on any given day, and that these transformations that people are having, like yours, like mine, are really inspirational, exciting to watch,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hear.
no, fun. It's fun and it's very enjoyable
It's
because you feel like you're exercising. It's an exercise of, like, I go out and walk every day. Well, I also listen to some interesting tapes that are going to allow my brain to function more effectively throughout the day.
And especially as we age, we want to keep our brain healthy and strong and alert, and our cognition, thinking quick. so that we can continue to thrive.
Yeah. It's meditative.
Mhm.
You know, it's like if someone's not comfortable with meditation, this is a great way to get comfortable with it, because you just sit there quietly and you allow that to go on and introduce to your brain some different ways of functioning.
There's nothing we need to do. We hit
No.
play, sit back, and put our
Right.
earphones on and relax.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, if you were to tell someone who's maybe a little skeptical about this, or they're not quite sure, they've never heard of brain entrainment, what would you tell them as your recommendation?
Well, that you're going to benefit from trying it. And if you can check in with something that you're interested in, like you want to lose weight, you want to gain confidence, you want to sleep better. If you have a specific intention that you would like to alter or introduce into your life, this is a great way to do it. And it really is exercise for the brain. And it allows you entry to your psyche. And I don't know of any other opportunity that does that. I mean, I know that binaural beats are like the rage on TikTok and these other social media platforms, but they are not as full as the isochronic beats that we have, the monaural beats. Uh, this is a much more advanced way of creating a connection in your brain that's just going to uplift your life.
Mm. Thank you. That was very well said. And it's very accessible. It's very affordable. It's pennies a day. There's several systems within MindTrainer Pro, from athletics to sales to confidence. We have a program for pickleball and golf. There's all kinds of programs coming. This is just the beginning. So if you're curious, you can go to getmindtrainer.com. That's GET, mindtrainer.com. Check it out. You can buy a program, you can buy a bundle, you can buy the whole enchilada for a month, and give it a try, because it's, like you said, Ellen, it's one of the simplest methods and programs, and cost effective, affordable. It's available 24/7, and it's really fun. So,
Is.
and we have a great community. We have question and answer sessions that you can come and listen and ask the creator who put this all together, who incidentally has 40 years of research behind it. He had a lot of health issues. There was nothing out there in the world that he found. So he took what was out for brain entrainment and he advanced it to what is now the MindTrainer Pro platform today. And he's continuing to. He's learning and growing the technology all the time. So come join us. It's really fun. So, Ellen, thank you so much for your time today.
I appreciate it.
And
Good luck.
thank you.